A lot of what I talk about on my little videos are the result of things that have happened to me in my life, and a combination of those often with things that happen while I'm online. Today is no exception. There are certainly things that have happened in my life that I look back on now, and many of them, sadly, I rue, which is the way things work as you tend to get older. You tend to look back and go, oh gosh, did I really do that, or was that something I really should have done? And that's kind of what I want to talk about today on the Daily Summation from Kurt's Religion and Politics. Hello, I am your host. I'm Kurt. Today is Tuesday, the 2nd of March of 2021. Welcome to everybody who's here on Rumble, on the podcast, on YouTube. And the subject of today's little video is feelings and actions. And basically what I wanted to do was start with a base premise, a base concept. And the base concept is this. You will feel all kinds of ways. You're going to feel all kinds of ways. You're going to be angry, you're going to be happy, you're going to be sad, you're going to be melancholy, you're going to be, irked, you're going to be upset, you're going to be frustrated, you're going to be jubilant, you're going to be celebratory. You're going to feel all kinds of ways. And each of the various ways that you're going to feel are going to make you want to act in certain fashions. And I get that. That's not something that anybody should be surprised to hear, right? It's not a surprising thing. The thing is, as much as I recognize the truth in what I've just said, you can't know how important it is when you come to the understanding that what I feel shouldn't necessarily drive what I do. Let me give you an example of the sort of thing that I'm talking about. I have had a habit of what amounts to road rage. Not in the sense that I've actually hurt anybody or that anybody's really been badly affected by it, but I've had that habit of feeling that frustration at the fact that so many people drive very badly and make it so that you want to do things that are improper to do. So I can't tell you how many times I felt like somebody pulling out in front of me when there was a space of 1.5 miles behind me on a road that's 45 miles an hour has made me want to just basically keep on trucking, and if I hit him in the back, so be it. But you can't. That's not right. Okay? That's not how the world works. It's not how we do things. Here's the thing. If you get angry about the fact that that person just pulled out in front of you and doesn't get up to 20 miles an hour by the time you come up on their back end, and you say to yourself, I'm just going to hit him, okay? It would sort of be their just desserts, you can argue, right? Because what if I wasn't watching, didn't notice that you'd come out in front of me like that? It would sort of be their just desserts. But here's the thing. Besides everything else, it's not just them you hurt. Okay? What if they have kids in their car? Right? What if they're driving a car that's particularly prone when it hits in the back to exploding in balls of flames? What if you have kids in your car? What about you? What about your car? The point of all of this is to make it so that what you do, as much as you would like to respond out of how you feel at that moment in time, to make it so that what you do instead is respond properly to a given situation regardless how you feel. It's a hard thing to do. I'm here to tell you. I can't tell you how many times I've wanted to sock somebody in the face for being an idiot. I remember in some of my very earliest days in the military, I was a little bit of a powder keg, and somebody would do something, and I would blow up. Usually not in a harsh way, not in a horrible way, but enough of a way that periodically people were a little taken aback by what happened. But here's the thing: looking back, I'd like to be able to apologize to all of those people, because what they did may have been deserving of what they got, but how I responded was not how I should have responded, nonetheless. Something happened recently in which somebody basically said, you are the master of your emotions. And technically that's correct, right? Technically that's correct. They said basically nobody can make you feel anything. Well, my response to that is actually, yeah, people can make you feel things, and I'll probably go into detail on this in another video, but the point is they can. You open yourself up to people, and when you open yourself up to people, they can make you feel things. But the thing is, how you feel. You may feel rage, you may feel anger, you may feel upset, you may even feel happiness that's unwarranted. And you may respond in ways that are unreasonable based on your emotions, on your feelings, on what's going on inside you in terms of, what your heart says as opposed to your head. But the thing is that you have to realize that those emotions are understandable, but you must master them. It isn't that you don't feel. It isn't that you're in charge of not feeling. It's that you're in charge of what you do as a result of what you feel, right? That's what it comes down to. It's not, some magic thing that you learn, in a moment or so, and I can't just say that you go, oh, well, let me flip this switch. Okay, everything's good now. That's not how it works. It's literally a lifetime endeavor to try and get to the point where you are master of how you respond to your emotions. But I've told my son something any number of times. My son is moderately autistic, as many of you know. That's level 2 autism. That's the middle of the autism spectrum, right? And he yesterday was so upset with the teacher, so upset that he did the thumb across the throat, move. And a teacher said, don't you do that. And I didn't complain at her at all. But I've told him any number of times, and I'm going to continue to do so. Look, I know that people make you feel angry. I get that. And I'm not telling you don't feel angry. I'm not telling you that. I'm not telling him that. I'm not saying that about myself. What I'm saying is simple. What I'm saying is whether or not you feel angry, whether or not you feel upset, whether or not you feel outraged, whatever it happens to be, the question isn't how you feel, it's what you do as a result, not even just of how you feel, but of what has happened. One of the things that I see a lot these days is people get all triggered by one thing or another, and they respond to their, whatever it happens to be, their little freak out. They respond to it by freaking out. Here's the thing: things are going to freak you out in life. One of the things I learned as a member of the military many years ago, and I wasn't even a person who had to respond to a lot of emergency situations. I was just a run-of-the-mill member of the military who worked as a supply warehouseman and a communications computer systems operator, right? But one of the things that I learned as a result of being in the military was this: if you don't master yourself, the things that happen in your world will master you in many circumstances. If you allow emotion to rule the roost, to be in charge, you will find yourself fighting untold demons in the course of time as a result. How do you feel about going to jail? Well, you got mad enough at that person to kill him. So now you follow through on what you did, and the result is your butt goes to jail, right? You have to master not per se your emotions, but your responses. You have to bring your physical self under the control, not of your emotional self, but of your mental self, of the you that knows what can happen if you do things that you shouldn't do. All right, I'm running out of time, so you get the idea, right? If your feelings are bad and your actions are a result of your feelings instead of a result of measured logical process and thought, then you're going to have problems. This is basically what I'm trying to say. Okay, so today, as I've said, is Tuesday the 2nd of March of 2021. That means it will be Wednesday the 3rd of March of 2021 tomorrow, and I'm going to do as a subject tomorrow, section 230. I think there's some things that need to be discussed about that. Hope you're having a good day. Hope things are going well for you. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Again, if you enjoyed the video, remember you can like it or you can hit the positive rumble on Rumble. And hopefully that will be something that you will do if you enjoy what you see here. And hopefully as well, we will see you again tomorrow. The speaker on this edition of the Daily Summation is Kurt Schubert. This video was recorded on Tuesday, the 2nd of March of 2021. The Daily Summation is created for Kurt's Religion and Politics. Thanks for watching this edition of the Daily Summation from Kurt's Religion and Politics. I hope you found it entertaining or instructional, or maybe both. If you want to see more from me, you can go to blogs.kpschubert.com. That's blogs.kpschubert.com. I am on Twitter, Parler, and Minds.com. My handle on each of those is @kpschubert. That's @kpschubert. I have a Rumble and a YouTube channel. They are the Kurt's Religion and Politics channels on Rumble and YouTube. I have a Facebook page. The Facebook page is Kurt's Religion and Politics as well. I am on Patreon. If you want to support me, that's one of the better places you can do that. And you will find me at Kurt's Religion and Politics on Patreon. I have a podcast. The podcast is podcasts with an S, .kpschubert.com. That's podcasts.kpschubert.com. I think you should be able to find me with relative ease on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify as well. The best way I find to do that is to look for Kurt's Religion and Politics. You can try to use the Daily Summation. I find that it doesn't work as well as a general rule, but you can always try that. I'm glad to have you aboard today, and hopefully we will see you again tomorrow.